Alrighty, as promised, the level 52 Summoner quest is a matter of fact given to us by Imitra, next to Upkalu Falls, Old Gridania. Here we go, yeah. Cutscene, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm done. Yeah. Greetings, Mercy. Since we last met, the arduous task of deciphering those tombstones has occupied my every waking moment. I have made significant progress, but the cause of the ritual's failure yet eludes me. I am somewhat heartened, however, by my discovery of a number of new incantations. In fact, there is one spell which I believe you could soon master with a minimum of instruction. We are approached by a Rogadin with a big sword on his hip. He kind of is dressed in either like flame, like well, actually, I guess all three nations have this similar armor look to them, although they're different colors. This is none of the colors I'm used to. It could be not a lot of Rogadin in Ishgard, but it could be Ishgardian colors, whatever. Dancing Wolf is his name. Pray forgive my interruption. You are the leaders of the research effort on summoning magics, yes? I am Captain Dancing Wolf of the Immortal Flames. It is fortunate that I find you together, as I have questions for you both. So he is Immortal Flames, okay. His coloring on his clothing doesn't really show that, but... And what would the Immortal Flames want with us, Captain Wolf? Does Uldah's military have some vested interest in the activities of summoners? Just one summoner in particular, madam. We seek a man by the name of Tristan. She takes a half step back. Then you do know him. I've read reports that you had been in pursuit of our former soldier, but I always like to have confirmation on our intelligence. The Immortal Flames has its own reasons for wanting Tristan found. If you have any idea of his whereabouts, then I must know what you know. She looks to me, we nod to each other. Cutscene goes black. Camera pounds down from the night sky. I guess we've just told everything. So Tristan matched his summoning magics against yours and was ultimately consumed in fire. And you are certain he perished? Have we given you reason to suspect otherwise? I do not doubt the veracity of your tale, but there has been an incident. A merchant caravan was recently attacked by a man who, by the description given, closely resembles Tristan in appearance. Should we allow the crime of a former Immortal Flame to go unanswered, then the integrity of the entire organization would be called into question. I will find him and see that justice is served. She thinks on this. We looked on as Tristan was engulfed in flames, naught remained, not even a charred corpse, and we believed him utterly consumed. Could he have somehow survived that inferno? If he is alive, then we have unwittingly permitted the escape of a known pawn of the Paragons. Captain Wolf, you must allow us to accompany you on your investigation. He nods. Your combined expertise in the summoning arts is most welcome, Lady Imitra. The attack occurred on one of the roads out of Camp Drybone. Join me at the settlement proper, and we can continue the search for witnesses. Drybone. I guess... That's not really... So we were here. He would have gone all the way to northern Thanolin, and then all the way to central Thanolin. Drybone... No, eastern Thanolin is Drybone. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, like, how do you get there? Whatever. 247 teleport, but that's with reduced rates. I want to get some dinner after this one. Even though I want more spells and more traits and stuff. I also need sustenance. Here's Dancing Wolf to continue. Imitra, Mercy, as we are now cooperating on this investigation, I see no reason not to trust you with some of its duties. Let's split up and find out what these merchants know. Sorry. This probably will be the last video, like, you know, food necessities notwithstanding. But ability to talk, kind of, at least for me, goes away. Especially when I have to do, I don't have to, but especially when I do voices. Different tenors and accents and such. This guy up here? Well, there's a red circle that I'm not finding a person for. Oh, there we go. Here's Ermagard. Female human who is in this, like, armory? I don't know, she's guarding some armor? I don't know what she's doing. A friend of mine survived the assault. Said he even caught a glimpse of the villain's twisted face. I'm certain he would tell you more had he not left camp the moment his injuries were bound. I'm only rich when I fly off the handle. Here's Tutusi, Lalafell. Aye, now that you mention it, they did just cart in the body of a merchant. Such things are hardly noteworthy around here, though. As such, I failed to take notes. If they're not noteworthy, why would you take notes? I get you, bud. It's fine. I get you, bitch. Shoot your bitches. And Addleston. I call them the square-jawed humans. I think they're Alamegans. The attack out on the road. I hear the man who did it was swathed in a robe that was black as midnight. One of Ifrit's tempered, I should think. Argus. Right? Argus? Or the dog? Argus? I think so. Argos. Yeah. Let's say it didn't sound right. Didn't know why it didn't sound right. So we have one merchant left alive to tell the tale. According to my inquiries. That makes way more sense. According to my inquiries, our intrepid trader will likely be en route to Highbridge. We may yet catch him on the road if we are swift. Well, then why stop us? Just give us a call. We all have... You could have delayed us far too much. We all have link pearls. Here is an assaulted importer. We have a dark purple circle, which I'll be entering and killing shit. Pegasus is about to lead me. It's fine though. I'm not capped, so... All it took was that 3 or 4 tri-disasters? And assisting the assaulted importer. Ooh, that was weird. Anyway. I heard the Amaljaw's war cries. Are you unhurt, sir? Cutscene, by the way. Dancing Wolf has joined us. Yes, thank you. Well, aside from the injuries I sustained from a previous incident, I suppose. First the caravan and now this. Must Thal be so eager to usher me into his hall? I'm gonna grab this in case I don't find one that I like better for the thumbnail. It is concerning the assault on your caravan that we endeavored to seek you out, sir. Is there aught you can tell us of the attacker? Aye, I should be glad to see him brought to justice. Though I did not see his face in any great detail, concealed as it was in the depths of a black cowl, I did glimpse a lock of silvery hair. That does kind of match. By his stature, I marked him of higher in stock, also match, and by his fiery servant, a hell-spawned demon in disguise. Hell's spawned demon in disguise. Also a good match. A fiery servant, says Amitra, looking to me. I nod to her. I whip out Ifrit. Balls, that's the one. Where do you people find those things? The villain was in command of Ifrit Edgy then. We know the affinity Tristan has for his primal flame. For its primal flame? I didn't see it. Aye, all the evidence points towards our man. Oh, I probably could have grabbed that, actually. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. You have been of great help to our investigation. Oh, think nothing of it. Consider it poor recompense for my rescue at the hands of this gallant adventurer. He and his pack Chocobo walk off. I must report these developments to my superiors at the Hall of Flames. Pray join me in Ul'dah. There is more I would discuss with you. And he and Amitra walk out of the scene, which ends with them. Ul'dah for 98 gil highway robbery. No, we're cool. We're good. And then Hall of Flames is around the corner. Yeah. Fat cat. You got a fat cat minion? Pink bean. Sorry. And then here is Dancing Wolf and Amitra outside of the Immortal Flames barracks place. You know Tristan's older brother, Kahedin, or Kahedin? That's K-A-H-E Delta I Nancy. Kahedin? Both were soldiers in service to the Immortal Flames. Both were soldiers under my command. Our unit was one of many deployed in the mission to destroy the Primal Ifrit, an operation that succeeded at a staggering cost. Those who were not incinerated were tempered, with Kahedin suffering the latter fate. As you well know, a Primal's power is fueled by the faith of its thralls, and the greatest mercy we can grant such unfortunates is a swift journey to Thal's hallowed halls. Tristan volunteered to end the cursed existence of his own brother. He returned to Ul'dah with Kahedin's blood on his blade, and I watched, helpless, as the guilt slowly strangled the life in his eyes. No words of comfort could reach him, and when he at last quit the flames, he was a husk of the man he once was. Never did I imagine his grief-maddened mind would drive him to such desperate evils. Tristan was my soldier, and it is my responsibility to stop him. Thanks to your aid, we have mounting proof that he is still out there. When we are ready, we shall make our move. We are content to follow your lead in this, Captain Wolf, and we should certainly be fully prepared if we are to meet the Dark Summoner in battle. To that end, Mercy, I would teach you one of the incantations I gleaned from those repositories of Allegan wisdom. 'Tis a spell of damaging magic employed in combat by the Summoners of Eld. Let us call upon Captain Wolf once you have mastered its use. It would not do to engage Tristan while stumbling over unfamiliar magics. Okay. We get 48,360 experience points, 1151 gil, energy siphon, which is our AoE version of energy drain, I think it's, yeah. Our little cutscene with our little wood guitar. Come on, yeah. They both give further ruin, which I think just gives me, ruin 4, which is not nothing. It's good for single target, it's good for multi-target, but it's, so energy drain is going to be used on 1 or 2 targets. Energy siphon is going to be used on 2 or more targets. Just because, as long as you can hit 2, energy siphon is just as damaging as energy drain, but you have to make sure you're going to hit at least 2. Otherwise, everything's the same. They grant Fester for single target, or Pain Flare for, once again, this one is 3 or more targets to be better damage overall. But we aren't gonna get anything for 54, I think, right? Oh no, we get our upgraded Ruin, always nice. It's a big enough upgrade that it's gonna be a good damage increase. 30 potency is not nothing. 56 looks like it's nothing except maybe a trait. Nope. So 56 might be nothing at all, and there'll be a quest obviously, but 58 is a good booster. Gives us Dreadworm Trance, which I think is going to replace Ether Charge. I don't know anything about Astral Flow, aside from what it did in Final Fantasy XI, but should be fun. Astral Flow was your 2-hour cooldown in Final Fantasy XI for Summoner, and it made your currently summoned avatar free of cost. So like usually you pay mana per tick, so like it'd be every 2.5 seconds you would pay 1 mana or 6 mana or whatever it happened to be based on level, gear, etc. Made your summoned avatar free for I think a full 2 minutes. It's a 2-hour cooldown. So like 2 minutes is nothing compared to 2 full hours, but to wait for it to be up again. But And then you had access to, as long as you had enough MP for it, you had access to your avatar's astral flow attack. So like for Carbuncle, it was Searing Ruby, I think. Yeah. Right? Or Searing Light. Searing Light, one of those two. And that was how, at level 20, you could do the mini avatar fights with just you and Carbuncle in a special pair of gloves that made it so that even if you weren't in Astral Flow, your Carbuncle would still be, I think it was free at that level, because the gloves were like Carbuncle's gloves, I think they might have been called, and they made made Carbuncle's mana cost to remain out half rounded down, I think. It's like if it was 3, it became 1.5, it became 1. I think it was rounded down. And then you would just drink a juice, and a juice would give you 1, 2, 3, like I think it was called a Yagudo drink, and that would give you 3 mana back per tick, so like your Carbuncle would be free, and your Astral Flow wiped out your entire mana pool, but it only costs 2 times your current level in mana to cast it. So with Astral Flow active, your Carbuncle is free, and then you could cast your Searing Light. It does a good chunk of damage if it wasn't resisted, which sometimes it was, because it's level 20, a lot of gear, just sometimes it happens in that game. And then you would just run around. You would kite. You would let Carbuncle just go one-on-one with the Avatar. The Avatar would eventually do enough damage to Carbuncle to wipe him out. You'd resummon him. He only cost like 5 MP to summon, or 5 or 10. And then you resummon him. He would go to attack the target that's attacking you. That's just how the mechanics of pets worked in that game. Why isn't Imitra here still? It's weird. And do I get anything at 54? Did I realize I want to do 54? Ruin 3. I might do that, actually. That's one more piece of a puzzle to get damage closer to on par with my current Black Mage. But yeah, you would just do that until the Avatar was dead. You probably only get, I think, 2 Searing Lights in the time that Astral Flow was active. And then the rest of it would just be, you made Carbuncle go attack. He was basically free because you had juices and you had the gloves. So you could just, he would attack, you would run to the other end of this like floating kind of staircase of rock. So like you would start up on top, you would run, I think you could run halfway down, and when you see your Carbuncle's name just wink out of existence, because you couldn't see the fight, you were too far away to see the fight. When you see Carbuncle's name wink out of existence, you summon again as fast as you can. He runs to match the Avatar, hits him again, and then hopefully that's enough to get threat on the Avatar again, so the Avatar doesn't come to try to hit you. Because if it hit you more than, I think, twice, you were dead. It was that, that crazy of a fight. They were fun as hell. Really, really fun. I miss that game a lot. But it's still active-ish. But anyway, oh, wait, why'd you just jump off? Get back up. Nanamo. Nanamo, Ul, Namo. Get back up on my shoulder. See, that's what she was doing in the inn. Whatever. So I don't want to step on you. So Nanamo, myself, and Dancing Wolf, we all thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Food time!